because of the Spirit, like I can know peace right now. I can know joy today. And I think we miss that. Like there is a delight and a pleasure and an exuberance of just knowing God right now.
Yeah. And I've wondered, I'm not sure, but I've wondered if sometimes we miss that because we've never experienced it in the first place. Like growing up in a church like you grew up in, that's not how God is cast. That's not how he's, portrayed. And I've just wondered if we as followers of Jesus sometimes are so small in our mindset of God that that's the extent of how big our joy can be.
Sure.
You know what I mean? And so, like catching that fish earlier, I mean, I have buddies who don't know Jesus who are going to find joy in the catching of that fish. So I think it goes a little bit farther for those of us who are in Jesus, because
For sure.
I find enjoyment in that circumstance as a fisherman, a very terrible fisherman, but as a fisherman. But ultimately, like that rest I feel is because of Jesus. So like I can get a phone call that something tragic has happened, to my family or someone I know, and in the midst of sorrow can still feel the joy. It doesn't have to be, my point is, something like catching a big fish or having a good experience or getting a raise, these kind of things. It can be, joy can be intermingled in all these other things too. I think there's this sense of joy that we miss, that joy is not necessarily happiness.
Yeah.
Joy is this, like, if I remember right, some of the words used in Psalms, it's like this utter contentment that goes beyond circumstances. And so that's where I think we miss it, is if our viewpoint of God is so small, that's the extent that our joy can get to. But if we really start to recognize how big and wonderful and great God is, then our joy gets to expand to that point.
Yeah.